Francis Anams Metu. That's my name. I'm married. I have 3 kids. I'm into fitness, or a fitness consultant. I can tell you that what I do for a living is marketing, providing fitness services to individuals and organizations that are in need of it. I perceive life, though people have different thoughts, or there are different schools of thoughts towards that. But I, for one, based on what I have seen and where I'm coming from, I perceive life as something that worth living, and something that every individual should try everything possible to make himself happy, not carry much that will become strain to him. In the sense, as I am now, what really kept me going, or what I would want to achieve, how to take care of myself financially, take care of my family, provide for others, and satisfy others. Especially, there's this joy that comes from it when I allow people get their need. For example, as I said, I'm into fitness product or fitness services. When an individual comes to buy my service or come to seek for my service, and at the tail end of it, I satisfied such an individual, I feel so happy. So to me, the satisfaction I get in life is to try to serve others, to provide for myself, and make others happy. That's what makes me happy. For one, I was brought up in Jos, and then in Jos, we have different community, different set of people who surrounds us, and there are different, should I say, ideas from different tribes that we find ourselves amidst them. But what really pushed me into what I am now was that I really wanted to be independent, to be an inventor, not an imitator. In the sense that I saw a lot of people following one-way traffic, in the sense that this is what somebody is doing and everybody will want to really do that. I said, can't I start something on my own and have a household name, something that I'm known for? So that was one of the things that drive me into this fitness service that I am providing, or this fitness line that I finally found myself into. Actually, the business is skyrocketing. Formerly, what we know as fitness then was just running on the road, those that are playing football, and so on and so forth. But you find out that the fitness life has gone beyond that. There are people who can tell you about the body anatomy of an individual. Some can tell you what and what to do to remain physical fit. Some has even gone. Those days we thought the fitness exercises or some of these exercises are meant for youths. But we find out there are people who have tailored out, mapped out diagrams, graphs of how elderly people can really benefit from these exercises and then remain youthful and even age well. So what's really driving me or making me to see how far I can go is trying to tap from most of these scientific needs that are in the society now to see where I can cut an edge, and then where I can really give to the society, at least to say that yes, this is what I was able to invent, or the service that I was able to give different from what people are doing. I grew up in one place they call Vom, or Bukuru, near Vom. So we have these whites that came from Denmark. They are the ones managing this WAMCO then, that is WAMCO. So while they were there, we had these karate classes that were being introduced by some of them that came from Denmark, Kyokushinkai then. So most of us enrolled into them, and then we took the sports in the just interest level. So at one point in time, because of how good I was in it, some clients started inviting me to come and see how I can help them open their gym or run their gym or grow out a class of some of those athletic deeds that I know how to into their organization, which I started. So as time goes on, I became a household name. People started hearing about me and what I can do. I started learning more of it, reading more on it, going to courses, enrolling myself into courses, going for seminars and trying to see what I can really do on such services to brand a household name. That was how I could say I started. At one point in time, we now carved out a name that is known as New Sense Pass Global Limited, which was introduced back then. Until date, that's the name of the organization that we are running on. In the fitness business, there's one challenge that makes most of the athletes or people who have such vision to back out: acquiring the equipments that are used for these trainings. You find out that most of the equipments we use in the gym or in the fitness, like this treadmill, a Techno Gym treadmill, one might cost you around 3.5 million now. So imagine when you want to open a gym and then you need equipment, you need a set of barbell, you need a set of dumbbell, you need a leg press, and all these things run into millions. And then if you can't raise such money to open such vision that you have, you find out that it's not easy. So while I was growing up, these are some of the challenges I have: how to generate resources, how to start having equipment, how to even get a place. Unlike now that most of the equipments or outlets I have are stationed in some of the 5-star hotels, before I have to rent a place. And then when you rent a place, you want to open a gym or you want to open a fitness center, it's not just anyhow place. You must open a place that have facilities, urinary facilities, bathing facilities, and even where somebody can change. And then so you are looking at 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom with a parking space where somebody can come and park, and then with conducive lighting, and then maybe you might even have to get a generator because somebody will not just come while he's working out and there's no light. You tell him to go while he has paid for it. Some people prefer, after working out, they take their bath in such places. So will you tell him there's no water? I tried my best to overcome them by taking it bit by bit and then saving. One of the best things you can do is in this industry is saving. Just as I told you, I started in Jos. While I was working, most of the money that I was getting then, I tried buying equipment. Some of them, I did not just venture to buy all the equipment I want. Getting one treadmill that really made it possible for me to have clients that will come and patronize what I was doing. I started consulting for different organizations. I had around 555 episodes of Keep Fit exercises that I did for NTA years back. NTA Mina. And then, like, I had some of my running exercise programs that were running in NTA Mina. And then, actually, some of the money I got from such times are some of the things that I feed back into the organization that really worked up. And then encouragement from other people too. And then I was also helped by people who are ahead of me, because there's nothing that supersedes encouragement. Somebody might give you money and then tomorrow there's no, but the encouragement, useful encouragement, know-how encouragement by entrepreneurs who have gone through setting up a business empire like that, the little things you can buy from them in the sense, in terms of idea, suggestion, and program and data lines, how they followed. When you apply them, that was what I did, and that was what really kept me. But I'm not telling you that I will overcome some of those challenges. I'm still on them, but I'm trying to keep my head at bay. As people will always say, if you can rewind the hand of the... if I can rewind it, I want to start afresh. One of the mistakes that I did then was trusting in people or some of the organizations that we had one or two things to do. As a normal Nigerian and somebody who is piled up with energy, you want to exhibit what you can do. Most of the time when I'm entering into agreement or program with certain organizations, I did not even bother to document most of these things, or let's have an agreement on what and what. Or I'll come tomorrow, before you know I'm there, as early as, okay, this is what we'll do, we'll finish. So at the tail end of it, the organization was about being ruined. Even till date, my organization, some of the mistakes we made, we are paying for them. Before I start anything with any individual, any organization, I'll make sure that it's documented. Like right away, we have a lawyer that most of our business with our business partners, he goes through it and see where if we are bound to benefit from it. If it's something that we are not even bound to benefit from it, we stop it. So that is one of the things that we have arranged. And secondly, again, there's this phobia that we had earlier on. You see, I was opportune that even people who schooled in other continents will come down to the country, they will just meet me, they want me to employ them. I was looking at it, can I be able to pay this one and all this? But that was one of the mistakes I made. Because if I had employed them too, close my eye and employ them, it would have taken us, it would have springed the organization to another level. But that's another thing I found out that I have to reconsider also. While I was in Jos trying to start the gym, there's one man that normally calls me. He calls me computer, in the sense that he believes that anywhere they see any scrap of iron, he will come and call me that I should come and take something for a computer work. I don't actually know what he meant by that. Then one day I tried to find out, what is this man really talking about? So what they meant was that during that time, it was not easy for me to lay my hands on, like you can see a dumbbell or a barbell. who you are not, it's not easy to come by. So what we normally do then is to look for any iron, to go and give a welder, they weld it for you. The bench press also, you just have a iron bench where you insert legs and then they spin it for you where you can utilize. So most of the things are just raw iron. There's a point in time that some people were even molding cement. So some people, are you mad? Instead of you going to school, what are you doing? And you go and buy a bag of cement that people can use to build, and then you are just pouring them into containers, and then you are waiting the opening case, by length of rods, and you are cutting them. So people will begin to think, what's really wrong with you? So most of these things are some of the things I went through. And then there's one funny part of it. There's a place they call Yelwa Club now in Jos. If you go there, that place is Tush now. Then it's a big hall. It's just like a youth center then. So that's one of the places that I opened the gym. And then the problem I had then was that the security-wise part of it. So you find out that while in the day, from where we live, we pack all the equipment we have. Imagine carrying dumbbells, barbells to places, and then you go and upload them. People will finish training. We carry them back on our head, going back home to keep them and store them for safekeeping. So all those things were challenges that people laughed at us. Even some of the students that while I was in school, comes around, what are these ones doing? Don't you people have things doing? They really mocked and laughed at us, but we did not. That did not deter us or deter me. And then in my youthful days, I tried everything possible to read as small as I can. Let me not say as much as I can. So most of the time, it's not an individual, because I found out that the business world varies, and some of them are just as I said, most school of thought did not really come out the way you want it. And these days, you start something with a good mind. This is what you want to achieve. At the tail end of it, a lot of things is always against the wind. Unless when luck is by your side, that's when you achieve what you want to. So I've seen some people that served as my mentor, but at the tail end of it, they did not even come out well again. So at one point in time, it was about discouraging me. But one thing is, have faith and believe in yourself, what you can do. It's not always easy. I've had sleepless nights. Let me give you an instance. There's one day like this, I was called during, there's one FIFA tournament that's supposed to be held in Nigeria. So one of the hotels, 5-star hotels that had the allocation to host such people, the government gave them that allocation. But at one point in time, the federal government, the FIFA, were wanting to withdraw the business they had with them. The reason why was because they don't have a fitness center. That was just why. Where they are going to put all their athletes must have a fitness center. It became a problem. The organization called me that, please, I should run, come. I should come and see how I can help them, because I came. Within some time, I started acquiring. I went to take some bank loans. I went to do this, sold some properties, start buying equipment to install, to fix. My brother had just finished it at the green part of it. The real owner of that organization said he did not ask them to do that I should leave the place, I should vacate. Imagine the amount of money I have embedded into that. So to tell you this, most people thought it's a lie. That was the day I found out the best way to lose weight. Within 2 hours, I lost 7 kg. To tell you the truth, because I became restless. There's nothing I did not thought of. But God also intervened, and the owner of that place, I was so grateful to him. He had a change of mind. I've never regretted having something to do with him too. So you see, things like that could really knock you out. But still, I continued. Most of the time, my wife and my staffs and some of them, at times when I want to start doing something, they Oga or Ross, this thing will not go work. What do you think? I've seen some institutions that when we enter, the place is just fallow, nothing to write home about. But at the tail end of it, because of the zeal, the potential I have, the faith I have in such a place, and the faith I have in myself, that I know I can do it, I encourage some of the staff. And then when we unite together, you see, we come up and then make sure that we benefit something or to raise that place to another level. I looked up to a lot of people who have really progressed, the ones that are really achieving what they want at the point in time. I look up to them and I read a lot to see how I can benefit. There are different business entrepreneurs in Nigeria that have really made it, and they will tell you from fact, perseverance, enduring, nothing comes easy. This saying that if you find out everything is going easy for you, watch out well, if you are heading for a doom. So it has never been easy. But I look up to them. I can even borrow a lot from my clients. Some of them call me and give me ideas. Why don't you do things like this? When I go back home, I sleep. So don't you overlook the suggestions of clients, because they are the end users. So whatever thing their clients are telling you, they are the ones that they are the ones that gives you the money. They are the ones that bring that money. So they have different choice to make. So if definitely you go tailor it around, but although some of them will tell you what is not achievable. So know how to sieve to find out these ones are achievable, these ones are not achievable. So when you go through that, you will see how it goes. The year Abacha died, that week, that was the time I started seeing the success because I was lodged in Hilton. Somebody invited me from Jos. They gave me a place to stay in Hilton. That was, they footed the bills. They started talking about some other businesses they wanted me to do. And then when I was about to get married, I get one small contract, should I say contract or fund that also came out of it. I said, so I can really lay my hands on these hard jobs that I'm doing and benefit something from it. So from such time, I started knowing that yes, it's something that I can reckon with. Even in the society, people begin to appreciate me, call us for events, UNICEF, ECOWAS, and all this, and inviting me, why don't you come and do this for us, NNPC and stuff like this. So I was so happy, even though most of the time, the financial aspect part of it is not what we are looking for. But for such people to appreciate you, imagine when household names like such organization called you to come out. And the one that really gives me joy is, most of the time you see doctors who are vast in the job, military personnel who have ranks. That's a joke that happened one time. One, let me not call name, a very high-ranking officer in the military came while he was walking up, he was jogging, saying, oh yeah, come on. He stopped and said, are you telling me come on? So you find, so he wonder how he can receive such orders. But we turned it to joke. He said, this is your job. It's fun you. So tell you have power. Some ambassadors, even the American ambassador, there was one day I lied him down. I was walking on him. I just stood up. I laughed. I said, hold me. This is what I'm doing. And so in such cases, there's joy that comes from it. Not as if I'm humiliating, but yes, it was because I packaged myself well, because I tried. That was why I had this opportunity. And then not as if I made it alone, with God too. I could not have, because I don't look at it as if I'm exceptional about it. It's God that have really helped me do the right thing, give me the wisdom, meet the right people. That's just it. God. When I'm down, or when I have pressures, when things are not moving well, when I sit down, I try to think back. What have I really achieved? What can I say I've laid my hand on that can really make me happy? To be candid, I'm proud of myself and then the people around me, in the sense that so far now I have around 7 people who have left the shore of this country, are working abroad. And these are people that I have mentored from the joking start that we started. I was with them. Some of my people who work with me, who have mentored, who we started gradually, some of them are board members in different organizations. Some of them are regional managers. Some of them are well-to-do lecturers in some of our universities and all this. And then some of my people who have passed through me, who are encouraged, who I was able to take from you. Some of them are gold medalist holders. I knew of one that really brought fame to me. Then he went to, was it one of the African disciplines in Egypt? He came back with a gold medal. He didn't believe it and stuff like that. So when I look at it, and some of the staff that are working with me, some of them are being reasonable. And when people called me on phone, you should help me thank this year's staff and all this. I'm so proud of them, at least. What did he do? And he took care of me. When I came, I was feeling so down. So you see, the job I am doing, or the job that most of us are doing, are like creation job. You say, they say when God created the whole thing, he saw it and he was happy. So imagine when somebody is feeling down, he has some problem, and you are able to take care of it, and he's smiling, he's going. And there's this joy that comes with it. I'm religious inclined. That's why most of the time I relate to what the Bible says. They said, if you sow, you will reap. So the attitude I have, whatever hard work I put in, definitely, it might not be now, I'll reap out of it. And towards my staffs too, I always encourage them, although based on upbringing and where some of them have been to. In the world we are today, it's as if it's everywhere in the air. There's this spirit of nobody wants you to disturb him. It's just in the air. People are breathing it. People want to have the easy way out. Nobody wants to sweat it out. If you say, oh yeah, people who wants to walk this side, people who wants to take this money this side, you find out that hardly will you get anybody there. So these are some of the things that I found out. But I, for one, I tried everything possible to equate the job that I am doing with the results that I will get. And then my staffs, just as you said, the worst thing that can happen to any organization if you have people who have attitude in your organization, no matter the effort you put, they can ruin the place. One bad staff can ruin your organization. Also, one good staff can take your organization to another. So I am always watchful. The kind of staffs I relate with, once I start seeing that bad attitude raising head, I try everything possible to stop having anything with such a staff. I try to end the relationship with. But once I see those ones that are hardworking, those ones that I try to manage them. We are not perfect. I offend them most of the time. They're the same, but try to see those good qualities in them. But you must work. It's work. When you work, you see the result. But when you don't want to work, definitely. And then we've never forgotten the clients. Just I always say, we have problematic clients. There are these clients that you can never satisfy them. But from their critical part or critics part of it, you can still get one or two things that will move your organization forward. Hausa people say, when you are carrying something, somebody say, repair your load. So no matter what happens, you put your hand to repair, even if it's not falling and all this, it's to your own benefit. I look at myself as somebody who has a humble beginning. I look at myself who has been where, under normal circumstances, nature would not have made it easy for me to be there. So when I see myself in such a situation, I'm also grateful. I look at myself who still have the potential or the ability to take further steps, to shine more, to be more brighter, to benefit the more from what I'm doing. I look at myself who definitely others will want to envy, not in terms of what I've acquired, but the perseverance, the effort, how I started, and how I will really want to settle down. So these are some of the things that I look at myself. I thank God for everything. It's not easy.